Have you ever wanted to build a house that looks like it's been copied from a tutorial, but you haven't actually copied it from a tutorial? Well, if so, I got you. Here I have a comprehensive guide, right, on how to build one of those tutorial houses. We've all seen them all around YouTube, wherever you go. Minecraft house, put in the search bar, you're gonna find one of these. And yeah, what I've tried to do is I basically wanted to practice this a bit, right, because I'm a bit unfamiliar with this genre of houses. And so, you know, I started practicing. This is the first thing that I built. Then I actually looked at some inspiration and found out that they actually go a lot more simple, because you have to remember, these are built for kids, you know, to build on Pocket Edition, so they need to be simple, right? I'm gonna go over basically like the general theory of these houses, and then we'll build one together, right? We'll build a nice tutorial house together, but remember, this is not a tutorial. This is me telling you, this is me giving you advice, this is me giving you some insights, some inspiration, right? Some general guidelines, but it's not a tutorial. I'm not a big fan of tutorials, and I might actually make a video about that. But right, so let's go over these houses. You want to ignore this one. This is a bit too creative for the genre, right? You want to be looking at these over here. This is just something I like put together. I wanted to like build that kind of a house, but I ended up getting carried away and just made something a lot more complex. So yeah, this house here, this is a bad example. This is not what you want to build. This is too creative. It's gonna look like you came up with this yourself. There would be tutorials for houses this complex, but usually the tutorial houses are like just really simple, because again, their target demographic is 10-year-olds on phones. So yeah, this is a nice house, but that's not what I want to do. It's too complex, too complicated. The roof's too complicated and stuff. There's just too much detail. So we'll move over to this one here, and now this one I took heavy inspiration from a tutorial. I took some creative liberties, but it's very similar. And as you can see, it's pretty flat, nothing too special. You always make a frame. Every single one of these houses has a oak log frame. That's something you need to keep in mind. And yeah, just make a frame, make like a rectangle, make like a big rectangle, and then just do like rectangles around it, right? So like what you want to do, just generally, I'm just gonna like trace it out here for you. You want to do like a log, then you go like 4 or 5 blocks, do another log, right? Another 4 or 5 blocks, do another log, right? Another 4 or 5 blocks, do another one. Then you do this, you like enclose it a bit. Generally quite simple. And then just like bring this out, 1 and 2. And here we have now a lovely house. And yeah, you just sort of like can connect them up together, right, in like a shape, and there's a house, right? Now you could do a perfect square or a perfect rectangle, but if you have like an extension coming out, it just makes it look a whole lot more complex. And the thing about these houses is that they need to be extremely survival friendly, right? So you don't be using anything that takes too long to get, right? The most expensive block here, as you can see, is stone brick stairs. The rest is pretty simple, really. Right, it's really just planks, it's logs, and then it's a few stone bricks and stuff, maybe cobblestone even. And as for the windows, it's just basic glass. Again, it needs to be really easy to get. Leaves, obviously, quite simple to get. Barrels, they're often used for like the bottom of these logs. They add a little bit of detail. Nothing too special, and when it comes to texture, you can do something like this, but nothing too complex, right? You wouldn't want to make it too detailed. Now here I did the same thing. I made my own tutorial house, and basically, you know, I did the interior for this one as well. So if you walk in here, you can see it's pretty simple, pretty survival friendly. Now I forgot the crafting table, okay, excuse me for that, but you know, you go up here onto this ladder, and you have a lovely red bed and stuff. The interior is just meant to be practical, nothing too special about it. And as for the house, it's basically the same thing. What I really noticed that the tutorial people like is they love to do these terraces / balconies, and I agree with them. They're really nice, as well as animal enclosures and stuff like that. That's always really nice. Because they always like to, you know, advertise them as like the ultimate survival house, you know. So they always have like farms and stuff. Like as you can see over here, they have like a double-decker farm and, you know, a cow pen and stuff like that, because they really want to need to take up space, right? And obviously these are being marketed as survival houses, so we have sugarcane up here as well. And you walk in this house, there's not much of an interior here yet, but I assume, you know, you probably have like an enchanting table here. You have, you know, so your chest room here, right? Pretty simple. And you go up here, you have your bedroom, and you walk up here to your little balcony. And campfires are like really, really trendy in this kind of genre. So what you want to do is, you know, just get a lot of campfires, put them out, and you got yourself a lovely little roof for your balcony. And yeah, I don't really know what to say. Like, that's generally the pattern that all these houses follow. So that's what you want to do. Like, if you want to make a house, again, if you want to make a house that looks like it's been copied from a tutorial, but isn't, yeah, this is the video for you. So So the next thing I want to do is I want to create a new world, right? And we're going to create a new world right now. I'm basically going to try my best to build a tutorial house. This isn't the seed I wanted. Now, obviously, we need to go to a plains biome because that's where they're all built, right? All right, we have a nice area here. So I'm going to get my block palette ready. So as I said, what we really want is the oak log. That is the basic thing. Every single house has this, as well as oak planks, maybe a little bit stripped oak, but that's for later. That's for details. Birch is always nice. I think birch could be a nice addition, but you wouldn't want to use both oak and birch because they're a bit too similar, right? Not enough of contrast. As for your stone variants, you want to use yourself some stone bricks, and that's going to be basically it. As well as a nice trim. And this might be pushing it, but spruce wood, it's semi-obtainable for, you know, the average iPad kid. So we'll take a bit of that. And do we do spruce door or do the oak door? Oak door. Obviously the oak door, because for some reason people use that instead of the spruce door. So yeah, as I said, what we need to do now is, we're gonna make ourselves a nice foundation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is a nice pattern. It doesn't look bad. I think maybe if we do a shape here, just bring it up by like 3 blocks, that should be good enough. And we'll be able to connect it with stone brick here at the bottom so that we can get our general shape laid out. Pretty good if I do say so myself. Now this actually might not be, this might be like double-decker farm space. So actually might not have walls here. It might just be like a farm out the back of it. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. Like, if we want to do this properly, we do really need to have ourselves a shader pack on. We need shaders, right? Because I mean, how do you expect to build a proper house, a proper tutorial house without the tutorial shaders, dude? Set the time to about that. That's all right. Or maybe I should try a different shader pack, because that's a very bright shader pack. Maybe I should try what about that? Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. It's a bit less bright on the eye. Right, what we do now is we always bring this up 4 blocks, and always on the 4th one we always do this. Okay, that's what you always need to do. What's my frame rate looking like? Oh no, 30 FPS. Hold on, give me a minute. Sorry, render distance. Got to bring it down. Okay, I've changed my texture pack. This one's a bit friendly on the frame rate, which is nice. Okay, anyway, so we have the basic first step of the house. It's all complete, right? Really simple. Really nice. Now, the next thing that I want to do is, for this section, we want to bring this up a tiny bit. I'm thinking of maybe turning it this way. That wouldn't be too bad. Or what about this way? This way is nicer. When you bring this up another 4 blocks. Okay, you know what? I've turned my shaders off because I don't like 30 FPS. So yeah, this is sort of what you want to do. So you want to obviously get your stone bricks, and you fill this bottom portion in with the stone bricks. Now for this part, you want to make it probably, I think birch is nice. That's why I'm going for it now. There's a lot more contrast with it, and it's also easy to get. Like, they do use birch in tutorials a lot of the time. Pretty simple. And this also looks quite good, this is like the entrance. So we'll make a 4 block little gap here for the door. This is the way you're going to be getting in. As for the roof, I'm thinking of doing obviously something like this. Don't make anything too complex. Don't choose a different roof shape. It's got to be a classic A-frame. Do this like that. And I'm thinking, I might use oak stairs. As opposed to what they like to do, they like to make a stone brick trim. Since, this stone brick here, you don't want stone brick there too. So I'm using spruce for this one, for this trim. But right, yeah, this looks quite good. And for this part, let's do, your classic birch, as well as birch here. Now we can continue with these lovely stairs. Bring it up 1, bring it up 2. And just do the same thing. I realize I'm building one tutorial house that I already made. Pretty much block for block. There's not a lot of variety with these houses. You can't exactly, just come up with something new every time. And since I do have Axiom, I'll do a bit of cheatery. I'll bring this over here, drag it there, turn it around, do the same thing on this side. Oh, wait, it's 1 block off, 1 block out. And 1 block out. All right, now let's, obviously just do the roof. And this looks nice, it's nice. To be honest, a lot of the houses, I live in some of them, right? They're not bad, they're just not anything special, right? It gets old quite quick, but they're so easy to construct. this is a quick build. This is a quick build because you don't have to think about it, and yeah, it doesn't. It's not horrible. Like this is something. This is the kind of house you'd be told to do. In old like building advice videos, this is like what was expected. This was like a standard. As for this section in the back, well, we need to do some work here. Obviously, we need to maximize our farming output because obviously in Minecraft, you don't have a lot of, like free real estate. So that's why we need to stack our farms. It also makes for a good thumbnail. That's probably the best reason. But we also like obviously real estate, right? Real estate problems. Or like who owns the land, you know what I mean? You can't own all the land, it's too expensive. So we do need to stack our farms. That's a side effect of building tutorial houses. To be honest, I do like, obviously some of these tutorial house designs are like quite creative, and I do like how much they make use of vertical space. Like I wouldn't have the idea to like stack me farms and stuff like that, Get some spruce. I think that's probably a good idea, right? A bit of spruce, and let's just do that. Now what you want to do is you want to dig out a section like this somewhere. Again, don't copy me, right? You do your own. I'm sort of like bringing you through the process of making one of these tutorial houses, right? But obviously you do want some kind of a vertical farm. So now what I'm thinking of doing is a water bucket. Okay, really good. We placed down some farmland, and now it's soaking up, right? It's doing its job. Now, what we need to do here is we need to make a lovely fence, right? Obviously, we need a nice fence around this thing. So, we fence this off, and we should probably plant something quite mundane, quite easy to get, some seeds. Let's plant ourselves, what makes for a nice colorful thumbnail color? A little bit of beetroot there. Really, really nice, really cool. Now we need to do a very similar thing up here. More farmland up at the top of it. Now what you want to do is you want to place a slab, obviously, so you don't get the water leaking, right? Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to place down some carrots, right? You want to do something to that level. And again, the fences, just so that we know, like that's our farm. And now this section here, since there's an empty section here, that can be used for some other things. Like a doorway right here, that could be pretty. Also using an oak door. Alright, so like already, as you can see, this house is looking quite complete, right? Quite thumbnail worthy for a lovely tutorial. And it's pretty simple. Don't have to do too much, really. I guess what you need to do next is probably add, obviously windows and stuff. Obviously, for the windows, classic glass pane. Can't be bothered to do anything else. As well as, for extra detail, maybe like birch stairs or something like that along the lines, just something like that. Just to make it seem a bit nicer. Obviously, still no texture allowed. That's against the rules. Oh, and some leaves. Leaves, nothing too complicated. Just that will do. That will do. That looks fantastic. Nobody will believe you, but that's great. What about some windows here? Maybe even on the bottom for this time. Oh, that looks very trendy. And some leaves as well at the bottom of this. We know what to do a lot of the time. They add some pretty flowers. So what we could do is we could get some kind of lilies of the valleys, perhaps. Maybe something like that, and maybe some trendy red tulips. That'd be cool. Get a spruce trapdoor. Now let's do something along the lines of this. For a lovely flower pot, basically. Nothing too special, just surrounded with, the trapdoors, and put some red tulips. That looks very pretty. You'd obviously want to be doing the exact same thing over here as well. Would we want to doing some tulips there as well? Okay, now this house is properly coming together. It's got a lovely garden. It's looking really nice. We've got the barrels. The barrels, obviously, to add a lot of extra detail. As you can see, this is a very advanced building technique. Not used by a lot of people, obviously. Very complicated, but hopefully you'll be able to follow along. Looks really cool, and I guess we should do this at the top as well, just for extra bonus points on the tutorial house rankings. Very, very trendy house, I must say. I'm a big fan of it. It looks very nice, very cozy. But we obviously need to do the interior and also some kind of a pathway, right? So the first thing I think we should do is, just a simple pathway. And I'm thinking, let's get a nice shovel. Copper shovel, that's new. I'll use that. And just make a very, very straight pathway. Don't do anything too special, please. Just do this. And perhaps maybe, maybe make a turn. Make a turn right here. Very, very trendy. Because obviously I forgot the animal pen. Who forgets the animal pen? Silly me. We need to do something along the lines of this for a lovely animal enclosure. And where could we find... Ah, this is nice. Let me stick some pigs in there, just to make it look like it's actually, you know, serving a purpose. Some hay bales. And I must say, I'm a big fan of this house already. We should do the interior just to make it seem a lot more complete. As you can see, there's a lot missing in here. So let's get to cracking on that. Let's get some spruce planks since we haven't really used too many of those for our floor. You're going to want to do something along the lines of this, and also for the second floor, since we don't want to be too creative here. Come on, we'll use the same block for the second floor. So we're using spruce planks again. The best we can do is 3 tall ceilings. We can't make the ceilings any higher because that wouldn't be very survival efficient, would it? Now, obviously, our favorite light source is going to be lanterns, obviously. So what we need to do is we need to stick one there, we need to stick one over here, we stick one there, and stick one there too, as well as one here. Right, and just make sure the house is nicely lit up. One there, one there, one there. And all the spots that look like they'd be a convenient place to put a lantern, that's where you put a lantern. And that looks really good. Now, obviously, what we're going to need to get to the next floor is going to be a ladder, because that's simple and it doesn't look bad. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a ladder right here, right up here, and you can go straight to this floor here. This is brilliant. Up on the top here, obviously, there's going to be a bed, and it's going to be a red bed because that's everyone's favorite color, and we're going to put it right there. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can do something along the lines of this with your bedroom, and it's going to look incredibly fancy right now. Just look at that. Look at that now. Oh, wow, that's fancy. In fact, we can raise the bed. Yeah, you want to do something like this with your bed now. Oh, that looks really nice. I think everyone would enjoy that. Very cozy indeed. Now, over on the opposite side, you're going to want to put a enchanting table. An enchantment table would be quite good. 2 block center. Do you have a 1 block center anywhere? No. Well, that's not very enchanting table friendly then. Are we going to have to deal with it? Oh, so ugly. To be fair, it wouldn't be a 1 block center in this tutorial. But maybe, what, does this qualify? Does this work? We need 1 more. Yeah. That was it. Obviously, we need some chests and possibly some furnaces. So we'll put some furnaces like that. This part doesn't have to look too good because it's a tutorial house and no one really cares about the interiors. And yeah, this is a really good interior. So we have the chests here. We have the furnaces right here. We have ourselves a lovely ladder up to the top, a bed on one side, and nothing on the other side. I think that looks incredibly cool. And obviously, you walk over to your door. And, you have a lovely farm started here, as well as a beetroot farm down below. Probably missing sugarcane. I might add that to, like, the corner somewhere. Possibly here. You know what? Yeah, let's put it right here. Really cool. Planted here. And what you want to do next is probably get some campfires. Because we forgot about campfires. Like, we need campfires, obviously. Sugarcane grows 3 blocks. Make it... So we're going to cap it off here. Now, put out the fire on the campfires and look at the lovely shaded roof you have now. Oh yeah, okay, this looks incredibly trendy as you can see now. And yeah, it shades the sugarcane quite well. It ties up with the house quite nicely. The house looks really nice and cozy. Like, it looks like a place I'd like to live. And yeah, at night, it's all nice and lit up. Obviously, during the day, it's quite nice. And you can walk in and as you can see, like, the interior is nice and practical. Maybe a crafting table could work if you put it, like somewhere like, I don't know, like there. The corners, dude. We love the corners. Everyone loves the corners. We go up our ladder, as you can see. Nothing over here. Maybe we should put a window, because windows, we always love windows, don't we? And yeah, this is basically how you can build your average tutorial house. Like, it's pretty simple. You'll never have to use the tutorial again. I know what we need. We need a nice pretty carpet, really. A green one. That's a very complimentary color. We'll stick that right down there. And that's that's your tutorial house basically complete. If you want to be creative, I suppose you can. You could add something along the lines of this, to offer some more structural stability to your house. But yeah, that's been all from me. Mystical Plays. I hope you enjoy this lovely and very pretty house. Cooked it up quite well. I'm pretty happy with it. I wouldn't complain about it now. I forgot to mention with your, your tutorial houses, you need to do everything twice because these are supposed to be symmetrical, right? So I'm going to plant the flowers again on this side as well. And now it looks complete. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that now you're equipped to build a tutorial house without using a tutorial, right? This wasn't a tutorial. As I said, this is really just me explaining how to build them, and yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed, and please don't use tutorials. Come on, be creative, make something yourself. That's been all from me, Mystical Plays, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye bye, and yeah, see you later.